So welcome to this Did You Know video. We're going to look at a great new feature that allows you to create a custom executive summary report. So here we are, we have a BlazeMeter test. And if I go to the timeline report, what I've already done is added some charts to our timeline report. So you can see here, this is the normal default chart. And if I scroll down, I've added these additional charts. So one is showing me the maximum minimum response time for one of the requests, as well as an overview of the latency and connection times, the response codes that we received, and the data. So if we go to the existing executive summary report, so what we call the classic, this is what you see. So at the top, you get an overview of the test, when it executed, how long it ran for, some summaries of the test that ran, along with tables of the top 5 slowest, the top 5 errors, the test setup, and then some details on the concurrency and response times. You then get the aggregate report, and at the very bottom, you then get the error report. Now, this executive summary cannot be modified. So let me show you how the custom executive summary is different. So if we go back to the test, and instead of launching the classic, we're going to launch the new. Now what you're going to see is very similar data. So at the very top, we get the same summary data, when the test ran, how long it ran for. We get a section that shows us which filters are applied. So within the test, if I were to filter on a particular scenario or location, this report would show that. Here I'm showing the fact that we haven't applied any filters. If I scroll down, we then get an overview of the test. And then what we get is those custom charts that I created. So as you can see here, we've got the main timeline chart, the response time, that chart I showed, which is the maximum minimum for one of the requests, our latency and connection times, and our response codes. So whatever charts I add to the test results will appear in this report. What we then get is our request stats, and also the engine health. So this is key when you're looking at test results to understand how the engine was actually loaded, the failure criteria for this actual test, and also then the errors. So what errors were actually reported as part of the test. Now, if we go back to our charts, what you'll also see is, so in this example here, you can see we have our response times for maximum minimum. If I go back to the test results, and we can actually say, we want to change this graph. And if I edit the KPIs, what we're going to show is, if I scroll down, so you see on the left here, this is the endpoint that I'm showing the chart. I want to actually add the average and the median. So that's now been added to this chart within the results screen. And if I go to the executive summary report and we refresh this screen, and we just scroll down to that chart, you see that this executive summary now shows that change to that chart. So however these charts are modified, they will automatically appear in this new custom executive summary report. This allows you to create custom graphs to show whatever you need to show to share with your executive team. So as an example, if I go back to the execution screen, let's scroll down to the bottom. We're going to add another chart. Now, when you add a chart, you click on this Edit KPIs, and you can then name the chart. So we're going to name this as my demo report. Now you see at the top on the left here, you now see that's the chart was selected, and whatever KPIs are selected here will appear in that graph. So if I unselect the virtual users, if I unselect the hits, and perhaps unselect the errors, then all we're showing here is the overall response time. We could then show the median and the maximum and perhaps even the minimum. So we can adjust this to show exactly what we want to show. Again, if I scroll to the bottom, we can also add in things like the latency times. Now, if I go back to my executive summary report and refresh this graph, What we'll now see is, if I scroll down, those are the existing charts you saw before. And that's the chart we just added. So as you can see, this allows you very quickly and easy to create a custom report based on the data for this test result and then share that with your executive team. Thank you.